Hey everybody, this is Eli Freestone, and you're watching my Project 3 review video for Apple Objective-C2, term 1307. So I'm displaying from my iPad via Air Server. Let's go ahead and get this guy rolling here. For this project, I followed the requirements pretty strictly. I didn't really veer off away from them very much. So my project is essentially what was required and not a whole lot extra. First off, I decided to actually last minute to change the main text view here on the main view to make it uneditable. The reason why is I didn't include any sort of a clear button or a close keyboard button, and unfortunately I didn't have time to pop those in. So I just decided to make it uneditable. So I'm tapping on it and it won't let me edit it, but it will let me copy and paste. Anyways, let's go ahead and get going here to the second view. I also set it up so you have to enter something into the text field. As you can see, the date label changed from event description to please enter an event. I was originally trying to get that to be an alert view, but for some reason it was giving me some bizarre behavior on the iPhone simulator, so I actually decided to change it to the label just to make sure it works across platforms. So let's go ahead and enter in a test here. And the date picker won't let you select anything that's back beyond today's date. And even if you don't touch it at all, it'll actually go default to today's date. That's the way the date picker's set up from the factory, I guess you could say. So the close keyboard button works beautifully as well. We'll go ahead and save it, and it clears out the text in the main text view and replaces it with my event. So let's go ahead and add another one in here. And we'll change the date and the time. There we are. And there we go. So let's go ahead and get this guy out of the way so I can walk you through a little bit of my code here. The way I did the spaces between the events was actually, it's kind of a simple way, but I'm not really a fan of the way it worked out. And it's these two \n's at the end of the string with format. I wanted to find something that was a little bit more elegant. Unfortunately, I didn't really find anything that really fit my needs. This does work great. Again, I'm just not really a fan of the way it's set up. I can't really place my finger on it, but just something kind of irks me about it, I guess you'd say. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back to the... I was actually having some odd behavior with the date picker. This chunk right here, which would be the if date picker is not nil, and then grab the code and format it. This was originally in my onDateChange function that is triggered when the date picker the value is changed, and it worked great as long as you picked a date, but it would crash actually if you didn't pick a date. I think it's because it was never being triggered, but the program was expecting to get something from the date picker, and then when it didn't, it just kind of panicked and crashed from there. So I found that if I moved it into my save event, it worked great again, but there was still some weird behavior if you didn't pick the date. It would actually return null, but the date picker from the factory is supposed to return the current date and time. And I still haven't really figured out exactly why it won't do that, but I did find that if I commented out the if date picker is not nil, where it's checking to make sure the date picker was created, then it will return the current date if no date was picked. I'm not really sure why it works like that, but it does function as is. But that's something that I'm still kind of researching, and I think there might just be something I'm missing, possibly the order of things. But yeah, it does function as is. So, alright, I guess that's about it. This has been Eli Freestone, Project 3 for AOC2, term 1307. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.